Hello, Al Pals. Welcome to Big Al Presents. And tonight on Big Al Presents, we are watching the 1981 fantasy classic Clash of the Titans. Ray Harryhausen, the immortal Ray Harryhausen, his final film. And I'm hearing feedback, so someone needs to turn their YouTube off.
Could be me. I don't know.
No, I just turned mine off because I didn't have my sound. I'm muted. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. The immortal Ray Harryhausen, his final film. Those, of course, who don't know Ray Harryhausen, where you been, under a rock? He of course is responsible for the stop action, the stop action motion capture creatures, all the fantastic beasts and creatures in this film, and of course his resume is
extensive,
and he learned under a master. He learned under the guy who did King Kong.
Wow.
So he's got quite the resume. But that's who he learned under. I'm trying to remember his name now. I can't.
It's a skill that I just feel it's so lost. I feel like
exactly.
There was a feeling you got when you saw those special effects that was a little bit of magic. You knew it wasn't right. You knew it wasn't perfect,
right?
But it was that unearthliness, that uncanniness that gave it something. The skeletons in the 7 Voyages of Sinbad.
Yep,
just,
all done by him by hand.
Yep.
Now, for this film, it's the first film he actually had assistance with. Everything else he did by himself. And it was Willis O'Brien who was the animator for King Kong. But he has done such films, or at least been a part of Mighty Joe Young, Beasts from 20,000 Fathoms. That's a classic. It Came from Beneath the Sea, Earth versus the Flying Saucers. All the little things in that were cool. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, Mysterious Island, Chasing the Argonauts. I can't read them all. Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, A Personal Cave, one we will watch eventually. And of course, this one, 1981, not only was he did the visual effects, but he was producer, Clash of the Titans. And after he did this film, he retired and never did anything else again. And of course, he has since passed and has left the building. But he leaves a glorious legacy. But yeah, Clash of the Titans, like I said, 1981 came out when I was in high school, and I remember like just being all about Clash of the Titans for, when it first came out. It was like it was the big thing. It was a lot of fun. Never did it had toys, but it never got the wide release of toys that I would have loved to have had. But anyway, okay. Let me welcome people to the chat, and then I have a little bit of news. I just want to talk. Professor Geek was first, he thinks, but I think Melissa Harris might have been first. We'll see who that. But Professor is always first in his mind, so, as he says, as he would say. Mr. Matchstick, Dark Stranger, Wolf 10 Media. Wolf 10 Media, I appreciate the offer for you to come on. I'll let you know in a minute why not. It's a weird kind of night. Anybody who's a Facebook friend may know what's going on. But I'll let you know in a moment. Of course, Nanette is here. I did say Dark Stranger, Chris P, Casey Scott. Hello. Melissa Harris is in the building. Evelyn Hampton.
Hey, Evelyn.
So I'm trying to see. Daniel Heron has joined us. Welcome, sir. Sir Torin Clegane. Welcome, sir. I said Casey Scott, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. Full disclosure, what's going on in my life. My mother went to the hospital this morning. She woke up. She had a fall on Thursday. Was fine. after the fall, I had to call 911 to get her up because she has a bad leg, she has arthritis, and she's an older lady. Of course, she's 87, and she couldn't get up. But she got up, was a little sore, and then she was really sore yesterday, and then this morning she could barely move, barely walk. She was in pain. I'm going to be getting a lot of those little dings that you might have heard because of people contacting me. Oh, it was you. Okay. I thought it might have been a family member, but she went to the hospital this morning. I immediately had to get people to help. She didn't want to go because of me, because as most of you know, I am kind of bedridden. I need help a lot with stuff, and not exactly the most conducive living environment. Thankfully, I have a friend who has worked with elderly people and has done the quote unquote dirty work that needs to be done. And I have a couple family members, and I have my cousin next door is going to make sure I don't starve to death. So I once she knew I had systems in place, she agreed to go. She has I talked to her tonight. She has blood poisoning. She's had a couple transfusions, still hurting, a little not as bad. She's on medication, but they need to send her up to another hospital because she takes a blood thinner, and our hospital doesn't do that. So they have to send her up to another hospital. So my mind's a little wonky tonight. Oh, Fan Man's in the chat. Welcome, Fan Man.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So if everyone could just give a little prayer for Big Al's mom, I would greatly appreciate it. And I almost canceled this tonight, but in my mind, I thought between 10 and 12, there's nothing I can really do. Let's do it. Let's enjoy a good film. I feel better that I talked to her, and she's in good hands. So, and my cousin might stop by about halfway through to do a couple things for me. So I might have to mute and kind of disappear for 5 or 10. But we're in good hands, please. And yes, if those people who have noticed my avatar, I am little Bubo Owl, Bubo the Owl. So
And I got to do stuff like that. So
had a little fun. Had a little fun with it.
That looks good. I like it.
Well, we were a little bit behind today too. We literally just got the movie in the last few seconds before we went live. So I just threw up a little something myself.
Yeah, the Kraken. Yeah, I saw that. Releasing the Kraken, and there we go.
If there's ever going to be a movie, where I'm going to be releasing the Kraken, it's got to be for this one, right?
Yeah,
just
get one. Yeah, don't go nuts on me.
Well, one is very subjective. I mean, it's just how many fingers. I didn't actually measure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
So good.
I thank you. Yeah, we're going to start. We're going to start the movie pretty much at 000. Right before the MGM logo starts. That's how mine is set up. So I don't know how yours might be set up, but if you want to go ahead and kind of get yours into that position, I'll wait a moment or two. Try to get up something real quick here. Yes, Clash of the Titans, a great film, always a classic. The guy who wrote it had been wanting to do it for a long time, ever since he had visited Greece, and just kind of got to be in his bonnet to go ahead and do it. And some interesting things about how things kind of progressed and how it eventually got made, and some interesting behind the scenes things I found out. I was like, "Ooh, I didn't know that was going on." But if you guys are ready, I did check if everybody's ready.
All
Fan Man. That's Age of Boomer asking Fan Man a question. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, thank you everybody for keeping it in your prayers, or like I said, if you're not religious, in your thoughts and good vibes. So I appreciate it. So let's go. Let's have a good fantasy adventure here. Harry Hamlin and as Perseus, a Clash of the Titans in 3, 2, 1.
I love that classic MGM opening.
The classic MGM logo. Leo the Lion. It was Leo, wasn't it?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. So now this movie was released in 81. Just wanted to make a connection. This is the year after Xanadu came out. And for little young Troy, who first saw this on the big screen, in my mind, I associated the God's portrayal in this film with the God's portrayal in Xanadu. Remember, we're still talking about Zeus and so forth, and that whole disembodied voice thing. I saw this as being a connected movie, you know. This was also where I first became interested in the Greek myths and so forth.
I was always, like said with. I think this was probably like when it was the main formative. I think I always had a little bit of an interest in it.
Yeah.
Of course, then I got ravaged by Zeus as a gold. I think it was like a shimmering gold, something like that. Zeus had a way about him.
Yep.
Zeus loved the ladies.
The other thing that confused me as I started studying about the Greek myths is, of course, this movie takes place. It's dealing with the Greek gods and the era of the heroes, specifically Perseus. Well, when you think Clash of the Titans, you think, and you're studying mythology, that's actually a period that's before this, when the gods were clashing with the Titans, so that could be a little misnomer if you want to really dig into it, but I don't think anyone's ever really thought that much about it.
I remember the first time I saw this, I was looking at the creatures moving. I'm like, why are they moving so funny?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. That's Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, it's all Harryhausen. He did.
Well, remember when I saw this, I was a youngin', so for me it was kind of like, I didn't know what stop motion animation was.
Yeah, it took me some years to figure it out too.
This is just beautiful scenery, though.
Yeah, that first scene where they're tossing Danai into the ocean was actually done in Cornwall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maggie Smith.
Dame Maggie Smith, who was
Ursula Andress. Oh, yes.
Who was
I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, Ursula Andress, who was actually having it was in a relationship with Harry Hamlin.
Oh.
In a great 80s theme, that symphonic sound,
Yeah. Very, very different style of music. I kind of miss it. I got to be honest with you. It does, for me, it kind of harkens back to a more innocent age. Yes, Dark Stranger, that's exactly what I meant. The battle with the Titans would have taken place before this. The gods are already established as the gods. So I think the title more refers to Titans in a more general sense than the specific Titans.
Yeah, because the clash is actually mainly between with the Titans. They consider Medusa and the Kraken, neither one of which are actual Titans.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it used more in the.
I love that effect of the lights behind Zeus like that. That kind of animation is very, very much of its time, very similar to what they did with Superman and the opening credits of Superman. It looks very unreal. Well, it looks like we lost Al. I think he might be having some problems. You guys are still hearing me, right?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like he kind of cut out in the middle of a sentence, so most likely his system got all wonky again.
It happens sometimes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, hey Al.
Yes.
Hey Al. Yeah, we were just going on about some of the special effects here. I was saying it's very much like Superman, the opening credits, the image behind Zeus.
Yeah, I was talking. I didn't know my stream wasn't working. I was just chatting like Laurence Olivier, being, you know, one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yep.
Who was ill most of the filming. He was not feeling well.
Yep.
He actually, and I think it was Jack Gwillem is playing Poseidon, and somebody was offered Poseidon and turned it down because it wasn't a big enough role.
But it's whether or not you get a lot of screen time, that is a big role if you really think about it in terms of roles to play. Wolf 10 Media, yeah, I do miss opening credits. There is something to be said for that. It does have a classic Hollywood feel. Professor Geek dropped an interesting link there for y'all to check out. Tim Burton pays a great tribute to Harryhausen in the first music video he directed, Bones by the Killers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tim Burton is known for his love of stop motion animation.
I said glittering shower of gold.
I love this idea of the clay figures representing humanity.
It's kind of neat to think that we're like little figures in
like little chess people in the game of the gods, you know.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Maggie Smith. Oh, I love Maggie Smith. Oh, the Kraken.
Mm-hmm. It's like I was always like, yeah, that effect didn't quite work.
Yeah, no, it didn't. it really did not. What gets me about this is the effects could have been so much better, because at the time this was done, you know, they had done Star Wars, they had done Superman and whatnot. These effects are very similar to what you would have seen in the 60s,
right?
Know?
But which is now part of its charm.
Yes, I agree with you.
Because, like I said, there is an art to it, and there's I like that you can see the guy's shorts under there.
Yeah, they're very 70s shorts. I noticed that. Yeah.
And
there are some elements that are really, really good.
Yeah. The film did not do that well because another film opened the same weekend. A little film called Raiders of the Lost Ark. You might have heard of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they opened the same weekend and it basically got crushed.
Yeah.
Although, you know, it did respectable. I mean, Clash of Titans was a respectable movie, but it just didn't do what could have done.
Oh, Mr. Matchstick, that's not fair. Who's your favorite god? That's tough. I'm assuming you mean not all pantheons. I'm sure you mean
Greek pantheon.
Greek specifically. That's a hard one.
Hephaestus is mine.
Yeah, that strikes me as, I can see that being your favorite. That makes perfect sense. I don't know. I'm kind of partial to obviously Aphrodite, Hera, Artemis.
Well, at least you're not saying Aries.
Well, the Klingon in me wants to say Aries.
Professor Geek says Dionysus.
Let me get a little bit more Kraken in me, and I will be saying Dionysus.
Yeah, you're definitely on your way there.
And by the way, I'm not correcting your pronunciation, Annette. Yours is actually absolutely correct. I'm just going with a more Latinized pronunciation.
Not a problem.
Now, a lot of people have made a comparison between this element of the myth, the mother and child set adrift, and Moses in the Bible.
Yeah,
certainly a thematic relationship there.
There's Festus right there, Pat Roach.
Yeah, back there. My problem is, shouldn't he be limping or using a cane?
Well, you don't really see him walking around. Maybe it's before he got thrown off.
Good point. I hadn't thought about that.
I need to mute myself for a few moments.
No, that's fine. That's okay. Fine.
Yeah, take over, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I just had to comment on this. Yes, that's beautiful right there.
that's the comment you had to make, right?
Well, I mean, it's so. Think about it. It's beautiful. It's natural. They're this beautiful island.
And when they re-release it, of course, they will edit it out.
I think that was her butt.
Of it.
And his butt.
But I need to mute for a few minutes. I got to call my aunt.
Yeah, so. That's fine. Understood. Okay, that's pretty impressive. I got to admit. And he's doing it without a saddle. So let's give some props to the horse who is getting his mane pulled for a moment there.
Yeah.
A little detail that people usually would overlook. And I also, another comparison I want to make to Superman is the portrayal of the gods and how similar it comes off as the portrayal of the Kryptonians in the opening of Superman. I think that's intentional. But yeah, in my Dungeons and Dragons game, I have used this imagery of the gods and the chess pieces of humanity in my portrayals within the game.
Maggie Smith was a beautiful woman.
I would argue still is, but yes, you're absolutely right. And she plays Hera very well, in my opinion, in this role very well. Hera is the scorned wife, Zeus always kind of cheating on her, and so it makes her a little bit raw. It makes her a little bit not conceited, but protective of herself. And you almost can't blame her. One thing you have to admit about the Greek pantheon is the gods are flawed, and they do represent some of the flaws of humanity, just as they do. Now that's just brilliant. That animation. There, I just cursed your beloved one. And that should inspire a little bit of awe and fear too. I mean, this idea that the gods have this kind of control over your life. And let's face it, people have had that concern and fear, that existential dread almost, because whether you believe in a spirituality or not, that's the way life is. Your amount of control is negligible. I love the material of those costumes that they're wearing. There's this shimmeriness to the white material. I don't know if that's done as an after image or if it's got some sort of a tinsely, resonance in the material itself. Okay, yeah. That boy was built. I got to admit. Yeah, Dark Stranger, the whole brother sister married thing of the gods, that's a little goofy. It's part of the nature of the myth. When you also have to consider too that the gods represented personifications of ideas, and those ideas, the idea of the relationship, the siblings in inverted commas, shouldn't probably be interpreted literally. But yes, you would have to say that the gods were interrelated too. So that's true.
It's like, okay, wait. I fell asleep on the beach. Where the heck am I? How much did I have to drink?
Exactly, right? Harry Hamlin. A little bit of an Obi-Wan Kenobi here. When Obi-Wan Kenobi first shows up, he does the Quiet Dragon call. He's got his cloak up, scaring off the intruders. And here Burgess Meredith is doing basically the same kind of maneuver. Oh, Mr. Matchstick asks the favorite Greek hero. That's hard too. And it's almost impossible for me to separate my opinions of the Greek heroes from the pop cultural representations of them. So I have to say Hercules, but that's more because of the Kevin Sorbo portrayal than anything else.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Hey, how's it going?
Sorry about that. Yeah, that was my aunt was a little worried. She thought she was a friend on Facebook. I thought she was a friend on Facebook. I don't know why she isn't.
Have you corrected that now?
I'm checking it as I do.
Okay.
Well, every once in a while, Facebook will like unfriend people, and I've had that happen. So it's kind of like, okay, I know I was friends with this person. How come I'm not now?
Good analogy, Sir Torn. Then he calls Perseus a bum and trains him to be the champion of the world. Right, exactly. But isn't that what the mentor always does? Whether it's Obi-Wan or even Burgess Meredith's role in Rocky, I mean,
He's always training someone.
Right.
I can remember when I was like, man, it'd be so cool to be picked up and just placed somewhere else.
Well, as long as you're prepared for when you land.
Yeah.
Now, Dark Stranger says Odysseus for him. I totally get that because let's face it,
I love Odysseus.
Right, because he's the character you follow for most of the important Greek myths, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's from his point of view that we get most of the stories. So
Yeah.
it's hard not to have a special a value for him. But I kind of see Hercules as being like the Superman of the Greek pantheon, or you know what I mean, the heroes of the Greeks.
Harry Hamlin. I saw him play Henry V live once at Washington Shakespeare Theater. I love Athena in here, Susan Fleetwood. With her little owl.
Yeah. I honestly feel like at least they made the attempt to represent Athena's symbol. I wish they'd done that with all of the gods. But this wasn't really meant to be a teaching tool so much as just a good movie, Sir Torin, I think I've seen the Disney version of Hercules, but honestly, I don't remember it that well.
That's a good shot with the sword going right through the sun there.
Yeah.
I love this line. This is a cuttlefish.
Yeah.
Release the Kraken.
Oh, you could be a shark if you want to be. I could see that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Such a cool helmet. Uh-oh. Gotta mute.
Understood. Now see
the helmet.
Now see, unfortunately, if this was a D&D game, instead of him just finding these things lying out here like this, there'd be a quest for each one of those items, and it would be epic.
And it would be roll for damage, roll for whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's awesome. See, Professor, I don't know why you haven't done a mythology class, because it falls perfectly in alignment with your archetypes and so forth, which you also need to get back to. Oh, Evelyn, brilliant. Steve Reeves is Hercules for her, from all the sword and sandal movies she saw as a kid. Those are some classic films. You're absolutely right. Wolf 10 Media, a great observation. I love how time passes as they discuss matters of importance. It's like you could be walking down the street and the gods could be talking about Zeus's body count. Well, what I like about the passage of time here is how time seems to be very different for humanity and for the gods. And I love that play on that.
Mr. Matchstick timestamp, I've got 24, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let me know if you need more.
Yep. 24, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. Let us know if you need us to do that again. He's just taken the ages and he's looking into seeing the face of Zeus. He's got Batman lips. Am I wrong? I've never noticed it before, but
He does.
Invisible. I'm back. I'm not invisible anymore. Nah, it was a hospital. It was a hospital that just let me give me an update.
How's she doing?
She's doing all right. They want to take care of the whatever the blood's coming from.
You're right.
The scans seem to be fine. Skeletal system seems to be okay. They just want to go up there, check out her insides, and squelch the infection. Just like I said, keep up the prayers. She's 87, so it's a lot for an older lady to go through.
Sure.
But yeah, this is definitely a different stream. I did not expect this stream to be the excuse me, gotta go stream for every now and then.
That's fine. We have no problem handling the stream for you, and as long as you still want to stay with us,
I'm good because I literally have nothing to do. Except I would sit there and worry, and I always went, "Why didn't you put the daggone eye things over your eyes?" That always bugged me. That always bugged me with this thing. It's like they're eye sockets for a reason.
Mr. Matchsticks makes a good point. They could have used a little bit of color for each of the gods, because symbolically that could have separated them. I can see that.
Like have Hephaestus be covered in soot from the fire.
I agree. Yes, absolutely. I would like to. I guess I came to this thinking I kind of already know who these gods are.
Yeah.
Whereas there are visual ways they could have communicated what their positions were.
What a dum-dum. He forgets his sword. It's like, come on.
And now Professor has been challenged. He is going to be putting together a mythology class focusing on the archetypes.
Lots of names mentioned that were in the running to play Perseus. By the way, I don't know if you guys talked about this at all.
No.
Before Harry Hamlin, they thought about Malcolm McDowell, because he was still young at the time.
Interesting.
Michael York and Richard Chamberlain.
Wow.
Richard Chamberlain. Wow.
Richard Chamberlain.
But Michael York,
yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger was also briefly considered, but they thought he was too bulky. They wanted Perseus to be more athletic than bulky like a Hercules.
Yeah, they didn't want a bodybuilder. They wanted just somebody who looked very fit.
Someone who's fit in shape, with great hair, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, an upcoming an actor I've always liked, Tim Pickett-Smith. I think I got his name right. I sometimes screw his name up. I think he recently passed. Tim Pickett-Smith, Fallow. He's played some really cool roles. He also plays a great villain. I love that little horse-haired fly swatter thing he's got.
Yeah. Melissa Harris mentions that Hermes is her favorite, and it made me think how maybe, Professor, you might want to think about this, but you could almost draw comparisons between the different Greek gods and the characters in DC Comics, because when you say Hermes, I immediately think of the Flash.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're in the Flash series, they have that mural with the different gods in it, but they all kind of represent. But you're right; they all have that different archetype with a superhero.
Yep. I'm sorry. I did think of you today when I saw a meme. It's that meme of the kings putting the swords together at the round table, and they were all the things that weren't canon, and people were saying, JJ Trek and Disney Star Wars and blah 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 blah, and one of them was the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Okay, Professor. I'm sorry. I did see that and I forgot about it. The professor has dropped a link to 10 Greek myths turned superheroes that he did a couple years back.
Yep.
I had forgotten about that. You're right. Never be afraid to go to your favorite YouTubers list of videos and check out old videos, because there's always some gems there.
Yep.
Humana.
How beautiful is Judy Bowker or Boker? I don't know how you pronounce her name, but she is simply a gorgeous
I would
woman.
just say Judy.
Yes, quite striking.
Yes, very lovely.
Quite striking, the way you're going to strike me when you come downstairs again. That clef in his chin, though. Oh, I'm jealous.
Why?
Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't be, because if I ever wanted to shave there, that's really difficult.
And like I said, at the time he was doing this, he was with Ursula Andress, and they had a son, Dimitri. I don't think they lasted but a couple more years. He eventually married Lisa Rinna, who was one of the housewives of Beverly Hills.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this? I can't think of another portrayal of a rock in film like this.
Well, they did Sinbad.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A version of that.
Yeah. You're right.
And if you consider the giant claw rock, if you remember that film,
right.
You say,
hey, Sound Engraver, glad you joined us.
Sound Engraver.
No, Casey Scott, I am the wrong person in these streams to talk to about modern gaming. I have not played Gods of War. I know of it, but never played it.
Cute jammies.
Mr. Matchstick, there is actually, I saw a great video. There's a guy that does these videos about massive family trees, like real world dynasties and royal family trees and whatnot. And he's done one for the Greek gods too. Yeah. Wolf 10 Media, I think that squawking is probably supposed to disturb you a little bit. Again, the special effects, this stop motion animation ought to be a little bit disturbing too. What are the stop motion characters that you see but supernatural creatures?
Mm-hmm.
Creatures that they could not reproduce in real life in some other way. So it ought to be unnatural.
Yeah, and of course, like I said, of course, now they could do everything CGI, but like I said, CGI, that's just a guy sitting tapping in a computer.
Yeah.
Whereas this was hands on. This was art.
This
was a literally a sculpture that was manipulated.
Right.
Micro movement by micro movement. Again and again. This film, it was actually filmed in 1979. It took all this time for to like get all the effects and stuff done. It is a very time consuming craft.
Yeah. See that shimmer of the curtain that he just pulled across? I figure that's probably a similar material to what they use for the gods' robes. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, I mean, first you got to love Harryhausen's skill. He had to think it through the way an animator does, frame by frame. Okay. But again, it makes me think of the story from the prequels, from the Phantom Menace. When they first released it, people had a very negative reaction to Yoda's appearance in it. So when they re-released it, they redid the computer graphics, specifically thinking through what would a puppet look like. And they modeled somebody's hand inside of a puppet to recreate Yoda over again. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's what's missing. There's something to puppeteering. There's something to animation that is lost if you aren't very, very careful. Mm-hmm. When you think of a computer graphics artist, when you think of an animator, and when you think of the person doing the stop motion, they are the actor. Mm-hmm. You have to let that come through the same way an actor wearing a mask has to let their emotions come through. Now, here's an awesome, in my opinion, an awesome use of a blending of stop motion animation and, of course, a real horse.
A real horse, yeah.
You know?
Well, they also do it with Calabas.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
The faraway shots of Calabas are stop action, but the close-ups, of the head and face are God, what's the actor's name? Can't think of his name right now, but
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
I'm looking. I'm on IMDb.
Hey, no attention to the rope coming towards you.
I feel like there was a missed opportunity by not doing that with Medusa.
Yeah, Neil McCarthy.
Neil McCarthy. Thank you very much. That blending lends something to the verisimilitude of it. You know. In fact, I would compare this from horse short view to stop motion long view being very much like the flying sequences in the old Fleischer Superman, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kirk Allen. Is
okay. Yeah.
Hera is the goddess of Krakens. I did not know that, Mr. Matchstick. Thank you very much for that.
Of Karens.
Oh, of Karens. Okay. Well, that's even funnier. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter used that phrase, something about all the Karens the other day, and I'm like, my 30-something-year-old daughter is talking about the Karens. It just seemed really funny to me.
And I think that in these long scenes of the horse, you see some of the best use the best effect of stop motion, because honestly, it really does look like a horse. Yes, you can see that it's stop motion, but it's so close to natural that, oh my God, you just got to love.
Yeah, the movements, the appearance,
and the imagination of what would it be like to be riding a horse in the air trying to buck you off. Yeah. He's really conveying it, you know. Go ahead. You need to take that, Al.
Huh?
You need to take that?
Oh, no, I'm all right. Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Glad I could help. And I got to be honest with you, it makes me, watching the scene over again, I have to wonder how much of the scenes of Atreyu in the Neverending Story were influenced by this.
Oh, yeah, good point.
It's amazing the connections your mind makes when you're full of Kraken.
Yeah, well, you don't get any more after that one.
I don't think I'm going to need it.
Did you pour your drink the way I do?
I'm not entirely certain.
Okay.
Certain, not certain, certain. I caught the fact that I slurred my words. Man, that girl can sleep.
Well, it's just like her spirit or whatever leaving her body.
I bet I could do that if I wasn't so damn lazy.
Sure.
Dionysus has your back, Troy. Thank you, Mr. Matchstick. Dionysus, of course, being the god of wine and mirth and partying. I only mention that because I don't want to assume that everybody knows that. Dionysus' Roman name would be Bacchus, from which we get the term bacchanal.
Well, Timmy is that Troy's activated. Activate the Troy.
Release the Troy. So every time I see a panoramic shot like this in an older film, you know it was done using a helicopter. Nowadays, this would be done with drones.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, but with a drone, you're far less likely to have that, shadow of the helicopter accidentally show up in the shot.
True. What, did you just see one?
No, I did not, but I'm always looking for it when there is a shot like this,
Yeah, helicopters, you said?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I notice them every now and then. But I never noticed it in this, though.
I didn't. I was just talking about in general how nowadays it would be a drone shot rather than a.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my cousin. I didn't even hear it.
You're welcome. I'm a little surprised that the choice. I don't know what the behind the scenes was on this, that they chose the form of a buzzard for a rock. Usually, when a rock is portrayed, it's a
wrestler,
like an eagle or a hawk or something like that.
A rock wrestler.
I get you.
I always picture it's kind of a condor-ish kind of thing.
Sure.
Something
Okay.
like that.
Okay. I can see that because a condor isn't a condor the bird with the longest wingspan today. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He is one ugly mother. You know what?
Yep. Help me out. I'm forgetting my mythology here, and maybe the stream can help me out with this too. Was he a satyr or was he some other kind of a creature?
Well, originally he was in this. In this originally he was just a man. And he was changed. It looked
right.
like it looked like he was just formed into something. We'll say like between a satyr and a demon almost.
Yeah.
But he is very satyr-like.
So now Mr. Matchstick is challenging us with our favorite Greek monster. Again, that's very hard because that's a very look. You've asked me at just the time where I have no choice but to say the Kraken. I'm sorry. If you got me at a different time, I might have a different answer.
Scylla and Charybdis.
Yeah, I forget if this is a Greek monster or not, but the one in the maze.
The Minotaur.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Minotaur. Yeah, Minotaur's cool. I was like Scylla and Charybdis.
I mean, yeah, he does look like a satyr, doesn't he, Mr.
Yeah.
Mastick?
Yeah, he definitely has that satyrishness. I always thought Neil McCarthy always reminded me a little bit of Mark Leonard.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. Oh my gosh.
Does he have that same kind of the eyes and that vocal cadence? That
Yes.
tone?
Well, actually, his whole face shape,
Yeah,
I see Sarek. I see the Klingon from the motion picture in that face.
yeah.
Well, in fact, I met him in person, and so
oh, cool.
Yeah, we were at the first convention that he did. It was a great little. He had no idea that he was going to be seen as such a big celebrity, and he just walked into the dealer's room, and he was just surrounded, and security just boom, and we're like, Mr. Katsoulis, you can't go unescorted. He's like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, well, congratulations. You've hit the big time.
Yeah, Calabos. Yeah, like I said, if he wasn't such a dick, he'd have been all right. But no, he had to hunt the Pegasuses out.
Even as villainous as he is, you've got to have a certain amount of sympathy.
For what happened to him. And I like this little slow freeze they do on him, right?
Yep.
There.
And Wolf 10 Media just summed it up. Under all the makeup is a wave of emotions. Yeah. It is an incredible actor who can portray emotion through all that makeup. And I've heard that time and time again from actors who have played roles that had a great deal of makeup. In fact, here's a little bit of trivia for you. Help me out here. The actor who played in the TV series Beauty and the Beast. He also played Hellboy.
Ron Perlman.
Thank you, Ron Perlman. He said that in order to record his voice when he did the audio, where he read a bunch of classic poetry in character as the Beast, Vincent, he actually put on the full makeup because it was the only way he could get into character.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He said if he didn't, you would have heard the difference in the recording.
Yeah. Well, see, the one thing that makes him not a satyr is that tail.
You're right.
That tail's too long. Because if you were a satyr, you just have like a little fuzzy goat tail.
True, but it's common for Ray Harryhausen to take creative license with his characters too. I mean, the Kraken should have been a squid.
Oh, so,
yeah.
Well, and the Kraken's actually a Norse monster. They just kind of use the name for this.
That is an excellent point. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Okay. Now, coming up here is a very important scene for young Troy, because you're going to see Hera speak through her idol.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I have to admit that ever since I saw this movie, whenever I went to church, I always thought of the crucifix at the front of the church as literally talking to Christ.
Yeah.
Like when I was praying, it was like a microphone where I was talking directly to God, Now,
I will say, Sean Phillips, the one who plays Cassiopeia, I think they pronounce it Sean, Sian. She used to be married, I think, to Richard Harris.
Oh, really?
Or someone like that. Richard Harris or Peter O'Toole. One of those guys she was married to. But she played Livia in I, Claudius, the miniseries.
I never saw it, and I know Nanette did, though.
Anybody ask me who my favorite villain on screen ever was.
Uh-huh.
It's Livia from Claudius.
Claudius.
She was devious, just pure, wretched, villainous. You've seen Claudius, Nanette?
I saw a couple episodes of it that had Patrick Stewart in it.
Of course, she wanted to see his butt.
No,
Yeah,
he was bare chested.
Yeah, I think she had passed by then. Yeah, but she was in the first half of the series as Livia, wife of Augustus, and just some of the things she did was just.
Wolf Den Media. Perseus is not the hero that boys need. He's a white male. We need to erase him. Cancel culture.
Oy.
And notice too that he has that cape with the clasp and whatnot, but still his clothing is still very much the clothing of a commoner. You know, I think that says something about his character. There is he
had a very humble upbringing.
Exactly. There's that Luke Skywalker, farm boy to him,
Definitely, yeah. Adrian Boomer says his favorite TV villain was Cigarette Smoking Man from the X-Files. Also a very good one. But I still think Livia would have Cigarette Smoking Man's cancer man's liver for lunch. I love this music and this little dancing thing.
I was watching a video the other day about they found some musical notations of music from ancient Rome, and they translated it and played it, and it was
cool.
And it was this incredible melody, and I'm like, that's why melody is a constant across time, across cultures. We all have an archetypal connection to music. Should get Sound Engraver to do a video about that.
Freaky. Yeah, Melissa Harris says her cat's name is Lydia. Yeah, well, now this is Livia, Livia. Was the name of the character that from Claudius.
Oh, I see why he's always in stop motion from long distance. They want to be able to show movement in his tail.
Yeah.
Which is something they really could have done in practical effects. They didn't really need.
Well, they were.
You're
getting a call again.
Oh, here. Yeah. Thank you.
That's okay. We can pick up when you come back.
Hello.
You didn't mute, Al.
I was just thinking that. That's fine.
Man, she's got great hair. It looks so soft. Actually, so does his. They probably used a lot of product.
What was that shampoo? It's like, use it and then you tell two friends, they tell two friends, and they tell two friends. It's like, gee, your hair smells terrific.
I don't even remember. When I was
an old shampoo.
When I was a kid back in the 80s, I used Pert. Do you remember Pert? I love the smell of it.
It was in a green bottle.
Yep. Wolf Den Media, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, she's got great eyes. Sound engraver, I cannot answer your question because I can't focus that clearly right now. I wish you'd asked that question much, much earlier in the film.
When he was sober.
Yep.
Yeah, he had some Kraken.
I
He's
released
not having any more Kraken, but he had some.
Ooh, they kissing. Blah, 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 blah.
Stop. Steve says Andromeda reminds him of a younger Olivia Newton-John.
I'm back.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I get that. I totally get that. That and you know what it is? It's the roundedness around the eyes. That's very much Olivia's trait.
She is well rounded, I will say that.
I'll drink to that. I noticed that the women that were around them on the days there all had that Mediterranean Greek look to them, whereas none of the main characters do.
Yeah. She could not help herself.
Oh, Hera.
Gave her the
reason to
opening
lose
she
your head.
did. Man, that's not Hera, remember? That's Thetis.
Oh, right. I love the fact that this statue actually does look like the actress. They did a good job on that. Okay, so one thing I want to say about this effect here, I was at Marshall Fields when I was a kid. Going to Marshall Fields in Chicago was a Christmas tradition. You'd go to the Walnut Room to have breakfast underneath the big Christmas tree that they had there, and they had these statues where they would project. There was no face on the statues, and they would project. What were you saying, Al? Oh, we lost you there. They would project an image on the face, and these faces would tell stories, and it was the same effect. It was this 3D image that
I remember that.
Kind of cool, but kind of creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had to go and boast, didn't ya?
I got to catch up on all these comments. Characters playing. Sound engraver, by the way, I want to thank you in advance for the grace that you give me and that you don't condemn me for my drinking. Andromeda reminds me of a younger Olivia Newton-John. Okay, we talked about that. Wolf 10 Media. I could listen to you talk all day. You two bounce off each other so well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Mr. Matchstick Big Al presents Aphrodite, goddess of shippers. Yes, good point. If we were still worshiping Aphrodite, I'm sure people would say exactly that. Okay, Sound Engraver, I'm sorry, I'm not following your comment about that drinking. It's pure ASMR. Are you saying that my voice gets a little bit smoother and more relaxing when I've been drinking?
Yeah, you almost whisper.
Oh.
You lower your volume.
Okay, so that's what we call unintentional ASMR. I have seen videos of people that have reshared other people's commentaries, and they just have this natural ASMR type voice. It's called unintentional ASMR.
Well, it's the way you lower your voice. If I'm also in the room with you and you don't want your mic to pick up my mic, how you lower your voice, that's how you're sounding right now, even though I'm not even in the room.
Gotcha. Oh, pouring the Kraken into the glass. Yes, that is a common ASMR trope of hearing pouring liquid and so forth. Good point. Sound Engraver, does that mean that you listen to ASMR videos? Just wondering. Actually, you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
You make it sound like it's porn. You listen to ASMR?
It's not porn, but people do tend to keep it private as though it were porn. Oh, Al, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mention porn on your stream. Well, it doesn't matter. You're not monetized anyway, so it doesn't really
Actually,
matter.
I mentioned it, and then you picked it up from there.
Yes, you're a bad influence on me, Netter.
Where do you think I get it from?
I know I'm bad. The silent Kraken. See if that sticks, Mr. Matchstick. And can I just say, when I first saw this, the capturing of the horse just really bothered the heck out of me. It just seems so cruel and wrong. And just because I'm the historian in the group, I do have to mention these are the wrong kind of horses for this scene, but that's okay because, you can't reproduce, historic horses. So they're doing the best they could.
Any trick.
See, Sound Engraver, that's exactly why I enjoy ASMR. It is a great way to fall asleep when you're having trouble falling asleep. Most people think it's weird, but it's just relaxing tones that help you fall asleep.
Okay, yeah, that's where you and I differ. I don't like it.
Yeah, you think it's creepy. Well, Al's flavor of it is kind of creepy, but that's because he's playing around. Oh yeah, that's Hera. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, Wolf 10 Media, about Pegasus. I guess I had more concern about the horse than I did about the hero.
He's a jerk.
Well, Zeus kind of was. And I see what they were going with Zeus being the older man, but they really needed somebody to be more physically, Arnold Schwarzenegger-ish, because that really was a characteristic of the Greek gods. Just my opinion.
I love that owl.
I know you do.
When I used to play D&D with the guys, I was a magic user, and my familiar was an owl, a white owl.
Oh, Dark Stranger. Darn it. My favorite mythology. That's
the mythic kind.
I mean, I love Greek mythology, but it also depends on how you define mythology. I mean, because let's face it, modern comics, the superheroes are a modern mythology. So I would probably have to say go back to the professor's videos about archetypes and so forth. All of those elements speak to me on a mythological level.
Oh, I came back at just the right moment.
Yes, you did. You weren't here for him constructing the
Give him your owl. Bubo, your owl. Well, of course, Bubo is actually like a barn owl, which is
Yes.
not of the Bubo type.
Right.
It's actually another type of owl.
No, you're absolutely right. I realized that many years after first seeing this movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Bubo's cute. And everybody always goes, "Oh, they only made him like R2D2." Harryhausen said he was developed before R2D2. They were working on him for years for time.
Well, here's the thing about him. He's a clockwork.
Yeah.
So it's a technology that
Right.
it's kind of a retrofuturism,
Yeah.
which I think is brilliant. The gods would have access to technology that the humans wouldn't, but it's still kind of a retro thing from our point of view, right?
Right. Yeah. And of course, and hey, that was my Facebook cover pick for a while, for about a week. Oh, Bubo.
And the little LED lights.
Yeah.
In his eyes.
Now, of course, when I first saw the movie, I thought, "Oh, Bubo's so cute. He's basically the Baby Yoda of this movie." And
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he's the cute he gives the cute factor. Of course, I realize he's not really in any part of of mythology, except for he was made to resemble Athena's owl, but
right,
he's still cute. I think it added a nice little aspect to the film. But yeah, thanks for taking over. Hopefully, unless I get another call, that should be the last.
No, don't worry about it, Al. We've been doing just fine here.
Yeah, that was my cousin and his lady friend, and
checking up on you.
Your mom, so you do what you need to do for mom.
But yeah, they were. I needed a couple things done, and the light turned off, and some stuff emptied, if you know what I mean. Yep. And so I'm good till morning.
So this was done under MGM. What would have been really neat is if Warner Brothers had done a treatment of the Greek gods, just a pure story of like this. Talking, let's say they did a movie like The Odyssey or something like that.
Yeah.
Set up the Greek gods and then went into a Wonder Woman story using the same actors playing the same Greek gods.
Oh,
wouldn't that have been brilliant? And then led into their DC story. But that would have required too much forethought.
Yeah, I guess a lot of forethought, and that would have been an immense universe, cinematic universe.
But that's how they could have done it.
Yeah.
In respect, that would have been one-upping Marvel. But heaven forbid they should have put that much thought into it.
Yeah. But I'd like to see more of the Greek gods and Greek legends used.
Right.
I mean, as far as like they've tried like Hercules a few times, some more successful than others. But there's such a rich tapestry, like Theseus.
Well, what they should do is the Odyssey, but do it as multiple films. That's the way to do it.
True. Or like I said, they've done Troy. The only thing they didn't have in Troy were the gods.
And that was a shortcoming.
Yeah, it was one shortcoming. I mean, otherwise, still fantastic. Still the best fight between Achilles and Hector there's ever been.
Oh, yeah, good point. Good point.
Because a lot of them usually was a slaughter.
So when I see the owl here in his stop motion, I don't know why, of all the stop motion in this film, it makes me think of the characters from the Rankin and Bass animation.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, it just does.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I love this practical effect here.
Yeah.
I like how he looks at the bird like, I gotta carry this thing.
Oh,
yeah, he did. Yeah, he
three
did
heads. Oh, I love this.
The Stygian witches.
Yes. And the use of the one eye. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but when I've been drinking, I got to excuse myself briefly, so I will be right back.
Yep, Troy's way to release the Kraken.
Can you give me directions?
Some great actresses do it. Flora Robeson.
Yeah.
Was one of them, and I'm trying to remember the others. Anna Manaheim and Frida Jackson.
I need one of these.
But Flora Robeson, especially, was a very accomplished actress. I think she played Queen Elizabeth in something. Oh, the Seahawk. That's right.
Go for the eye, boo. Go for the eye.
Sweep the leg, Boobo. Sweep the leg. Sorry. Oh, sorry, wrong film.
Everything has a weakness.
Mr. Matchstick is like 0 out of 10. Needs more of my boy Hermes.
So, drawing another comparison. Did we do a rewatch of Krull?
Not yet.
Okay. So in the movie Krull, you have the hero going to see, well, he didn't himself, but he sent somebody to see the widow in the web to get advice. And in a way, this is a very similar scene. Seeing the dangerous crone to get information. Okay, not a fully formed thought, but the kind of connection that I make,
Yeah, I can see what you mean now.
Again, like Lucas said, it's not the same story, but it does kind of rhyme, Here, catch. Oh, you're so close.
Makes me wonder if like one of them finds it, if they actually tell the other two that you found it.
Right. Maybe not right away, right?
Mm-hmm. I did notice. I think it's Ruby's. They actually sell a bubo, like a plastic bubo.
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to have a bubo like that.
Mr. Masick makes a good point. He mentions all the Olympians who have an H in front of their name: Hermes, Hades, Hestia.
The nicest Olympians. Hades being a nice Olympian.
I don't know about if I necessarily agree with nicest, but it is a common alliteration. And
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus, exactly. And I'm wondering if that's a quirk of language, the difference between Greek and English. But You have an interesting point there.
She is so gorgeous. I like that little lean-to tent.
I would even draw the comparison in the look of this actress with the actress from Krull. You know, the
Lisette
rounded,
Anthony.
yeah, the rounded face, the hair, the eyes, yeah.
Lisette Anthony, another true beauty too. Red hair.
Nighty night.
But I do. I just like that simple lean-to and sleeping out like that. We basically still outside, but you got a little bit of protection.
Wake up, lazy girl. Notice how her makeup is still perfect. Morning. Did you make coffee?
He bought me a bag of popcorn. God bless him. My cousin.
Awesome.
Trying to find a place for it.
Here, hold my owl for me.
Yeah. He's like, this owl's supposed to be yours. Why am I carrying the damn thing? Because you are my manservant. Oops.
Script called for it.
Oops.
Give me your cape clasp. I'm trying to find the Ark of the Covenant.
I always think of the song, don't pay the ferryman. Don't even fix a price.
Wolf 10 Media, you're carrying it because I'm the hero, damn it. Okay.
Dang it.
Favorite Titan? I'm going to have to say Atlas. I always had a certain amount of sympathy for Atlas, you know, being forced to hold up the world and the whole bit. I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't he tricked into that?
It was a punishment.
Well, I think the story didn't Atlas trick Hercules into doing it for a time,
and Hercules did it for a little while, and then got Atlas to take it back.
Yeah,
yes, that's correct.
By telling him that he needed to make some like shoulder pads because it was rubbing or something, and he's like, "Okay, fine, hurry up." He's cute.
Sound engraver, you're just wrong asking me that question right now. Trivia question. Which musical mode has the lowered second degree? Fijian or Lydian?
I know, it's Greek to me.
I can't
think
straight right now. That is just not fair.
I'll say Phrygian.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember, Mr. Matchstick, what his sin was. Zeus was punishing him because Atlas was the general of the Titans. That's exactly right.
of course, there's Prometheus. Prometheus was a Titan, right?
Yes, he was. He was the one who was partial to the humans.
Yeah,
Oh.
he gave humans fire.
And Big Ellie, apparently you were correct. Sonic Graver said you were right.
Yay!
Well, he had a 50-50 chance. Evelyn Hampton, Barge of the Dead, probably the best Voyager episode there was. I'm not sure if you were referring to that or if you were referring to the Greek mythology. Either way, awesome stuff.
Yeah, all this stuff about mode and stuff, I have not a clue.
Sure, Torn said, I prefer the way Wishbone's Hercules tricked Atlas. He pretended he had to sneeze.
Now, from a cinematic point of view, I love the setup here, showing just then the reflection of the shield.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no reason for a shield to have that level of polishing on the inside. But by setting it up, it helps later on in the movie for why.
Yeah. Now, in this part of the film, he's got these three soldiers following him. We never really knew anything about them. But in the book, they actually have like names and dialogue. But
he just mentioned the soldiers. Make sure that you use the mirrored surface of your shields because her reflection can't harm you.
Yeah.
Mastic points out Apollo, god of incels. So many women have run from him and have committed suicide to avoid him. Ouch.
Wow.
I never thought of that before. Okay, now every D&D player has thought about look at this lifelike statue.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this other lifelike statue. You think we might be running into a Medusa?
Of course, Doctor Who fans are looking at it going, oh, it's a weeping angel.
Right. Yeah. Don't blink. Don't blink. Okay. I'm a little lost at Cerberus being here suddenly for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. That's only two heads. That's not Cerberus,
yeah.
Is it?
And there's a reason for that. They didn't have time to do three heads. So they just did two.
Well, what is Cerberus doing away from the... Shouldn't the Cerberus be guarding the entryway to the underworld?
Well, they're kind of technically in the underworld, sort of. Aren't they?
Okay.
So they cross the river Styx.
You're right. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
It's like, dude, go around the snake.
I like the shields of the guy. One of them has a flying pig.
Yep. I also like the way, and this is a decision on Ray Harryhausen's part. You have each head, when it was split between two soldiers, attacking each soldier. You know, I kind of like that visualization.
And then you got Harry Hamlin jumping in like Superman.
I'm gonna stick you in the tail. Oh, poor doggy.
I can hold it up just enough to get that little bit of glare on it.
Just doing his job, and you got to kill him. And I am very impressed by the fact that the model that was used for that dog had this awesome hair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that made it just that much more realistic, you know. And he looks back and says, "I'm so glad you guys are here because guys need to die
Yeah.
to make this a dramatic scene."
Are they the red shirts?
I need fodder for Medusa.
Right. I appreciate you stepping into the role of red shirt. Okay, that's another good piece of trivia, Mr. Matchstick. Fun fact, Cerberus means spotted in Greek. Hades, Lord of the Underworld, named his dog Spot.
Spot.
Brilliant. That is just brilliant. Yes, Wolf 10 Media, not only was this scene intense, but it is the scene that you hold up whenever you use a creature in D&D that has a gaze attack. This is your example. Aged Boomer, and well, it should have. Medusa is meant to terrify you.
Well,
That's
he's
the
dead.
whole idea. I wish they had done more story about Medusa's backstory because it's such a great story. It's kind of very tragic. And that's the biggest problem that I have in Dungeons and Dragons with their naming convention. All creatures, this female form with the snakes in the hair that turn you into stone, are all called Medusas. These
Should
were
be Gorgons.
Gorgons. Exactly. Yeah. And Gorgon is something entirely different in Dungeons and Dragons. And there you go, the reflective surface of the shield.
Yeah, for Medusa, if Medusa sees her reflection, it's supposed to turn her to stone.
Right. It could. See, that's the thing. Don't forget, just because she has a gaze attack, don't forget she can still attack you with her bow. She can attack you with any other attack, just like a normal creature could. Ouch.
You know what? I just love the design for Medusa with the rattlesnake body and the. I mean, well, yeah, the lower
Right.
half.
Agreed. Again, I still feel like it's a missed opportunity to have an actress in practical makeup for the close shots, you know?
Well, there's no coming back for that guy.
Well, unless they find a scroll of stone to flesh, it wouldn't matter anyway.
Oh, there it is.
And Mr. No, I'm sorry, Aged Boomer, the fact that this Medusa terrified you as a child, would you attribute at least part of that to Ray Harryhausen's animation, the unnatural appearance of this animation? I think that kind of lends itself to it. You know what I mean? And that's very clever. He uses
Mm-hmm.
The reflective surface. Hey, look at me. I can see you. Can you see me?
Even though it's on the ground, he could still use it.
Well, I thought it was interesting. He throws it at a stone statue and it sticks like this magnetic.
Yeah.
So tense, waiting. And I like how the music comes to that crescendo and then it just bottoms out again with no result to build again.
Wolf 10 Media. Oh, I love what you just said. The 2010 version ruined this scene for me, but it's good we still have the classic. Yeah. This something about this scene, Ray Harryhausen's animation, as Aged Boomer said.
But, real quick, Mr. Magic saying he's hearing the movie from your side. Does that mean you're hearing the movie? Like,
yeah, are you still? Because I have the movie so low I can barely hear it, let alone come through my headphone through the mic.
I mean, I just turned down mine some more. Can you still hear it?
Let me try mine there. I've turned mine down pretty low.
Now, that head still has the power to turn things to stone, so he still has to be careful. You can't just go, okay.
I love the wiggling body.
Yeah, right? It's the kind of thing that wouldn't normally happen with a human body, but you kind of expect it from things like, I don't know, a chicken, for example.
Yeah.
So it's very animalistic that the body continues moving after death. Mr. Magic said it's good. He's not hearing it now. So whatever we did fixed it. Again, the lighting so that you can see his eyes. Like in previous movies we were talking about.
Like, dude, you didn't get your shield. Well, it's melting now.
Yeah. It's being corrupted by the blood of Medusa.
Hey, look at this, and turn to stone. And this was the thing that bothered me about this movie. It's like, should I turn to stone now? Would the gods turn to stone now? I don't know. I don't get it.
I like that little fade they did with the lightning and the red bag.
It's a great transition to get us to the next scene. It's like, okay, this happened and he put it in a bag and okay, let's just move on. Okay.
Well, it's red. It might be his cloak.
Yeah, it said the red of his cloak would protect them from the blood of Medusa.
How in the world are they sleeping through that windstorm?
They're really, really tired. Okay, I just want to be a jerk. I just think this is a great little effect.
Yeah, the growing little scorpion things.
Yeah, right. It looks like, I don't know, like worms or like maggots or whatever coming out of the blood, turning into scorpions.
And how exactly is that possible?
It's magic. It just
I love how Boobo notices it. It's like, whoop, boop.
Shut up. And the D&D player in me is like, okay, random encounter in the middle of the night. You're attacked by scorpions. Everyone wake up. That's my first action. That's a free action, right? To wake everybody up.
Yeah. But then Perseus engages and rolls a 0 and gets a sword knocked out of his hand.
Right. Exactly.
Agent Boomer, no, I haven't seen that painting.
Okay, but I'll check it out right now real quick. Oh my God, that's creepy. Holy crap. Yes, I have seen that before. I didn't know.
Now I gotta look. Now we're all gonna turn to stone. See what you started.
That's just, oh my gosh, that's creepy. That's Uncanny Valley creepy.
Looks like a horror click's head.
Wolf 10 Media, that's awesome. Wake up, dang it. They're gonna muck you up. Shoot. They're gonna muck you, shoot up. Thank you for not swearing. It's funnier when you don't swear sometimes.
We're going to muck you up.
We're gonna muck you, shoot up. I always thought this last kill was kind of cruel. I'm going to cut off your tail, then I'm going to cut off your claw, and then I'm going to kill you. It's like after you've, taken off all of his weapons, why bother killing him?
And Harry's like, oh, not this guy again.
Okay, pal, you just ticked me off.
His sound engraver said, at Wolf 10 Media, is it because I'm here, Wolf 10? It's partially because you're here, and also because the guys know that I'm not all that up on swearing, although my big thing is I don't want them to take the Lord's name in vain. Most of the other swear words they say I'm okay with, but yeah, so they try to keep it PG.
It might be more because sound engravers in the stream.
Yeah,
they try not to swear.
Than I am, sound engraver.
Sound engraver keeps us in line. Let's just call it the way it is. The ladies are a good influence on us.
No, now he's human again.
There is a certain tragedy to that, right? You see it in werewolf stories. You see it with him. This, at death, they get to retake their human form. There's just that tragedy to it.
I just felt bad that Thallow had to die there. I liked his character.
I dig it. Yeah, let me rewrap this. I don't want to fight any more scorpions tonight. What are you talking about, Professor? He's as bad as anyone else in that regard.
Like, where's your metal owl?
He's in the water. See?
Right, but if I was going to be sitting there going, where's my metal owl?
Oh, timestamp. Let's see. I'm at an hour. Oh shoot. I'm
at 1 hour 39:32. 1 hour 39 minutes, 34 seconds, 35 seconds, 36
37,
seconds.
38, 39, 40,
40, 41. That's where I'm at too. We're synced.
And then Wolf 10 Media. I always feel sad when all his companions die. Same with all movies when you have a crew, even the nameless ones. I feel sad for them. It's interesting you say that, Wolf 10 Media, because I honestly believe that's the intent, and sadly, I think most viewers have become kind of lackadaisical to that, and he's a no-name background character. Who cares? but try to see it from the point of view of the hero. When everyone dies around you, that's got to have an emotional impact.
Mm-hmm. It's like, it's nice to have Zeus looking after me, but kind of feel sorry for everybody else that doesn't.
Professor Geek, remember when my channel turned into a lesson on moral intent? Hey, if that was really what you intended, thank goodness you brought Nanette and Sound Engraver in, because they certainly have elevated the moral intent of your channel. On the other hand, Big Al and myself, maybe pushing you in the opposite direction. And just a disclaimer, this is not me making a morality commentary on genders here. I am not saying that women are more moral than males. I'm just that just happens to be how it works out in this particular specific case. Don't give me any grief later, guys.
Melissa Harris says, I love Around the World in 80 Days. Can you guys do a rewatch? There might be something to that.
I don't think I've seen that movie before. I know of it. I really should probably see it. I'll add it to my list, Melissa Harris, because I really should watch that movie.
Yeah, Around the World in 80 Days. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a couple different versions I've seen.
Toga.
Like nice handmaidens all in white and Andromeda in gold. It's very appropriate.
I'm here to save you, girl.
It's been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long time.
But my time is finally here, and I can see my dreams come alive at last. I will touch the sky, and they're not gonna hold me down no more. No, they're not gonna change my mind, 'cause I got faith of the heart.
Oh, you just said so you should have waited till this point before you had your drink, dear.
Yeah, right?
I like that. Zeus cheating a little bit.
I'm sorry. I just got to say this right now. I love that song, and I think it is the best Star Trek theme, and I don't care what anyone else says. I know that's very contentious, but I love the Enterprise theme. So screw y'all if you don't agree with me.
Professor Keek says at Sound Engraver, I was just referencing how I have a no breaking the fourth commandment rule on my channel, but Al just pretends he was praying and Fan Man launches into justifications.
I think this is the Isle of Malta where they filmed the final confrontation.
Wait a minute. The fourth commandment, keep the Sabbath holy? I'm not following you there, Professor Geek. Or am I misremembering my commandments?
Oh, I'm looking them up for you.
Okay. I gotta love Wolf 10 Media's comment. Despised.
What? Hello? Did I go out again? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Wait a minute. Evelyn
Hello.
Hampton says she has seen 3 versions of Around the World in 80 Days, and the original is her favorite. I have not seen one. I had no idea there were 3 versions of it.
Oh, that was weird. Mine went out for a bit. I only caught part of your sentence. I thought it was you. It was me.
I have no idea.
All those big horns that summon the Kraken.
Okay.
Wait, guy underwater again?
What was that?
Who was the guy underwater again?
The Kraken?
Poseidon.
Oh, Poseidon.
Poseidon,
Poseidon is the god of the oceans.
Yeah, Sarah, I everything went kind of like dead for a moment or two, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I know mine went out for a minute because then it said the chat was lost and then it reconnected me. Hi, honey, I'm home.
Professor Geek, can you do me a favor and share that link in the office hours communication, because I'd love to watch that video later on when I'm sober. Okay, I am not following other people's communication, but Sound Engraver, I just read that Professor Geek said your mind is anything but feeble, and I want to second that. Your perspication is top notch. I greatly appreciate everything you have to say.
The
You
prop
are
said that the Protestant Ten Commandments are different from the Catholic ones. That's why she said that.
Mm-hmm.
well. I'm asking him to share that stream so I can be a Berean later when I'm able to focus on it.
See, you're moving around too much. You move, he sees you. You don't move, he doesn't see you.
Mr. Matchstick, Zeus, god of one night stands. Poseidon, got a very forceful one night stand. Ouch.
And I see Perseus up there on the Pegasus, like, here he comes to save the day.
Right? Exactly. And even though I earlier in the stream pointed out the Kraken should be like my icon currently, a giant squid.
Right. Yeah.
For me, the Kraken was always this interpretation just because of this movie.
Yeah, it's like this came first, then the squiddiness of the
Yes,
came later.
exactly. Hey, look at what I'm holding here. See this?
It's like, what kind of knot did they tie in this thing?
But I love him flying in front of the Kraken's face. I like that effect.
How freaky is that?
Now you done it.
Oops. Okay, so this was what, 81? I was 10 years old when I saw this. And my only thought was, oh my gosh, save the pretty lady. I mean, that was what 10-year-old Troy was saying in the theater.
Yeah, bring him the bag. Yes, because it's so much easier to open this knotted bag when it's all wet.
Oh no.
Okay. Now I'm going to share my biggest problem with this scene. How awesome a monument would that have been if he didn't just break apart and shatter? That kind of sucks, you know?
And so I guess if it keeps gazing at him, that's when you blow apart.
Wait, Wolfson Media says the Kraken scared him as a kid, probably because of the nipples. Really? Because of the nipples?
Did you see the size of those nipples?
Oh my gosh. Then Joel Schumacher's Batman must have scared the crap out of you. Okay. I'm having a really hard time following the conversation between Professor Geek and Sound Engraver, but Professor Geek, I'm always going to take Sound Engraver's side. Sorry, love you, but she's the moral majority in this in any conversation.
And of course, the classic Andromeda tied to the rock is a fairly frequent entry into Mains and Monsters page on Facebook.
Mr. Matchstick, Artemis, goddess of blue balls. Rest in peace, Orion. Oh, I see what you're saying, Wolf 10 Media, because it was close to being human. It's a certain uncanny valley element there. I get that. I dig that. I see what you're saying.
And sweetie, well, Sonogram said, like with the swearing, is it because she's a woman?
You know what? Maybe it's the booze talking, but I'm going to say that given the situation, women are always right. I defer to mothers. I defer to my wife. There's something to be said for the role of women in men's lives. I'm just going to say that. Okay.
I always loved Zeus's speech here, how he's justifying the gods. It's like, there's enough there's enough weirdness in the world. They'll need us for a long time. And one name or another.
And here's Perseus going, the things I gotta do just to get married here. The bird's got a little cast on its leg.
Well,
he fell, remember?
He was hurt.
It's haunting the whole movie. He didn't need a cast before then.
Okay. By the way, and I swear to you, this is absolutely the Kraken talking, but this was filmed in 1981. The rating was PG, and we still got nudity. Why do we not get nudity in PG films anymore? We don't even get it in PG-13 movies.
I don't know, maybe. I never thought about that though. You're right. We got full boob, a PG movie.
Darn it! What's wrong with the film industry these days?
Nothing. They keep coming. The Immortals.
Yeah, movies now they're showing full frontal everything, and it's like, I really don't need to see all that. I mean,
what movies have you been watching? I haven't seen full frontal in nothing that I've seen.
Oh, I see movies all the time where they're showing a woman that just stepped out of the shower. They don't show guys; they show women. But
I want to know what movies you've been watching that I haven't seen.
So in this one, they did show a breast, but it's very brief.
Yes, and it was
showed a lot
wonderful.
of side breast. So they weren't like going out for the, hey, look at this naked woman type of thing so much. Whereas in a lot of movies now, they're swearing a lot. You see, women with their stuff hanging out all over the place. It's like, I don't need to see any of that stuff.
Wait, I'm not understanding Wolf 10 Media, but we sure are getting a lot in network television. There is no nudity in network television that I'm aware.
What shows are you watching?
Yeah, what television are you watching? And please tell me exactly what shows so I can check them out myself. Just to be sure.
Maybe some butt. That's about it.
Butts are awesome too.
Yeah.
Oh God, please forgive me, Sound Engraver.
Hey, everybody's got one. They have to be awesome.
That's right.
They cushion us when we sit down.
I happen to have a fantastic tushy.
Yes, you do. I love your butt.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Oh, I always let her go up the stairs first, specifically for that reason.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry I brought that up. Okay, honey.
Yeah, Sound Engraver, what's happening here?
Did I share too much?
Troy's got too much alcohol. That's what's happening here.
I only had one drink, but I've been drinking it for the past 2 hours.
He released the Kraken and is destroying Joppa or wherever.
So Melissa Harris
rewatch next weekend.
Melissa Harris said that CW ruined Archie by turning it into a softcore porno. Okay, that almost makes me want to watch it, but I don't care about anything CW is doing. Let me just say this. I am almost watching zero network television anymore. I don't care what's happening on network television anymore. I'm watching YouTube and old TV shows. That's about all I'm watching these days.
Yeah, it's like, we don't watch network television at all. We actually got rid of our cable and we're just watching a service. What's this one called?
Philo.
Philo, right.
And let me tell you,
it's cable stations that we watch. I don't have a bunch of stations I don't watch. So I can watch like the Hallmark Channel and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Hallmark Channel. The only current series that we're watching is The Good Witch, and I know when I say witch, that might trigger Sound Engraver and Professor Geek, but it's not what you think. I mean, you kind of have to see it, but it's actually good, wholesome TV. There's not a lot of that these days, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of I watched that that Space Race, which I reviewed. Wow, I got a little bit of an echo of myself.
Wolf 10 Media. Okay, time for me to cover my ears. Mama Nanette and Papa Troy talking about butt stuff. I am so sorry. When you put it that way, I apologize.
Most terrorists is released and it's destroyed ancient Greece.
Sorry, didn't mean to ruin it for you.
Okay,
Wolf 10 Media loves Good Witch. I think that is a great show. It really is.
I have 3 episodes we got to watch.
I haven't seen a lot of the recent, but I remember when the movies were coming out. They were good.
We've literally seen every movie and every episode. It's really, really, and it's actually gotten better in the series than it was in the movies. All the, in quotes, baddies are so much more likable. There are no real baddies, if you know.
Right, like the mayor, Martha. It's like she was always kind of like witchy, like you didn't like her.
Yeah, she was a total Karen, but now she's
She's mellowed out quite a bit.
Yeah. She's totally likable.
Okay. Well, that was Clash of the Titans. Let's get on to what's going to happen. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Upcoming this is Monday night. Sound Engraver will have her show approximately 9:30, I believe. Am I correct on that? Sound Engraver will, I'm sure, post in the chat if she is.
If you guys
hasn't been driven away, she hasn't been driven away by the butt stuff.
I'm so sorry. Anything that I brought up that has offended you, please forgive me.
I did keep trying to steer us away from butt stuff, but we got to come back to it.
Yeah,
why do you guys keep saying butt stuff? Stop saying it. You're making it worse.
Tuesday night on the Professor Geek show, we are be watching the noir classic Double Indemnity, and that's should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I'm hoping. This week's kind of a little weird one for me.
Al, you're going too fast for me. I'm trying to share.
Your brain just can't keep up right now.
No. Links.
What?
He's trying to share everyone's links.
I'm trying to share links here.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So sound. If you guys aren't subscribing to Sound Engraver, you're totally missing out. She is a genius when it comes to music. Just as you need to follow Professor Geek for the mythology and the archetypes, you need to follow Sound Engraver and learn about how music speaks to
everyone.
Yeah, music really is an archetype in and of itself. That's what I'm going to say. There we go.
Like I said, 23rd, Double Indemnity this Tuesday. Looking forward to that. That'll be on the Professor's channel. Thursday night will be the chapter 1 through 5 of Scoundrels on the. We'll be starting Scoundrels book study. Sorry, I'm a little disoriented and tired.
Dude, you've had a rough day.
It's been a rough.
Every right to be a little bit.
I want to say something about the book study thing. If anyone had followed that link that I had posted, I hope that you had actually gotten your book because I never got mine for the ebook. I paid the $1.50 for the ebook. I've been in touch with the fellow, or at least trying to. I've called, I've emailed. I'm not getting an answer. So if you paid the $1.50 for the download and didn't get it, I am so sorry because I didn't know that the guy was flaky. So just want to put that out there.
Okay. Friday night, I'm not sure what the Fan Man's got planned, if anything. Hopefully, he'll do something. Next Saturday, the 27th, the Professor will be showing the classic Hitchcock film Vertigo. So stay tuned for that. And the following Sunday, the 28th, so that's a week from tomorrow night, the Sunday night Weeb Watch on Mr. Matchstick's channel will be a double feature, Ghost of the Shell and Perfect Blue.
I can't type anymore. I've been trying to tell Mr. Matchstick we were getting to that, but I couldn't manage it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I just can't type anymore.
That tells me that she made that drink a heck of a lot stronger than I ever would have.
Look, I've been drinking it over 2 hours, and it's been seeping into my bloodstream all this time.
Man, you are a lightweight when it comes to alcohol, man.
I am messed up. Let me tell you, you guys experience the alcohol the only times I ever drink. Ask Nanette. I don't drink when I'm not doing a stream. You're a bad influence on me, people. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's why I tell them it's like you can only have one. And next time I'm making it, because I don't put as much alcohol in as
yeah. Probably better off if that's the case.
The Professor saying if you're having troubles obtaining Scoundrels, join the Facebook group. I'll have some options for you by tomorrow.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Prof.
So yeah, he'll have that. So that's approximately the next week. Of course, we do have some films planned for the future.
We have the next 2 months planned out.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Well,
Pretty much.
sort of. Here and there, some still to be announced. But the next one on my channel will be on July 11th, and that will be Forbidden Planet, the classic 50s sci-fi starring Leslie Nielsen, which is one of the great sci-fi films of all time. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, so hope everyone had a good time. Like I said, hope everyone keeps my mom in their prayers.
Absolutely.
That's a big one for me. I do apologize for having to slip out in and out all night, but like I said, I'm dealing with stuff right now. Hopefully things this week for me will go all right, and we'll see what happens. But anyway,
hey, if you haven't liked this stream yet, I'm looking for 3 more likes because we have 14 watching now and only 11 likes. Send some love, Big
no,
Al.
I don't want
Okay?
not 2, 1 or 3. I don't want 13.
You want 13?
I want 12 or 14. I know let's not do this like 13 stuff.
Right. Exactly. No, I'm looking for 14. We have 14 watching. We need 3 more likes. Okay, guys? Because Big Al needs some love. So show him the love. Okay.
For Italians.
Get me to 14. Do it for my mom.
Right.
There you go.
Do it for my mom.
Do it for Mom.
Exactly.
My sainted mother, who, when I was in a nursing home for a year, every Sunday drove up to visit me 2 hours one way. So 4 hours 2 ways every Sunday to sit with me so I didn't feel abandoned.
Oh,
I see 14.
Wolf 10 Media, hit like, darn it.
Did we get there? Because I'm not on
15
YouTube.
thumbs up.
Oh, that's good. Mom will appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Big Al, Evelyn Hampton is fired up about Forbidden Planet. So
Forbidden Planet is one of the, like I said, it's one of the all-time greats. It's so good. I'm hoping to get Sound Engraver and the Professor in here.
I was just going to ask if you had the Professor for that one, because
I hope to get the Professor in here for that one.
I'm hoping for the Professor because of the connection to the Tempest. I'd love to hear some commentary about that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some of his analysis of that.
Professor, we're going to hold you to that. You said I will be there, so we're going to hold you to that.
Oh, did he actually say he'll be there? Did he type that?
And so did Sound Engraver. So we're going to hold both of y'all to it.
I know Sound Engraver was interested in doing it. And the professors are going to be there, so it's going to be an event on July 11th. And
just for context, the whole reason that Big Al and I are here is because of Professor. We did this because Professor started the Saturday Night Rewatch. So Professor, you got to honor that.
At least once in a while. Oh, I'm so
at least once in a while.
God, I'm yawning. I'm sorry. But
hey, you've had a long day, my friend. I totally understand.
Not as long as my mother. Gosh, you. But yeah, like, thanks for the prayers. Thanks for the likes. Hope everyone enjoyed the movie. Like you said, Clash of the Titans were definitely a favorite.
Take it easy, Melissa Harris. Have a good night.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining in. Like I said, once again, sorry that I kind of disappeared.
That's why you have backup hosts.
That's right. That's what we're here for.
That's why we have, like I said, 3's a good number if one of them falls out, and you still got 2.
Right.
You know, a tricycle is much more stable than a bicycle. If one of the tires falls off, you can at least, I don't know. That didn't make any sense.
We know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Dude, nothing's making sense to me anymore. Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those nights. Like I said, everyone have a great Father's Day, all you fathers out there. Everyone
baby.
else,
Yeah.
honor your fathers, because you wouldn't be here without them. So, you
True.
know, have a great day. Have a great week. Stay safe, and God bless. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Release the Kraken.
Gosh.